Hey guys, check out this beautiful timber frame pavilion here in Courtney Comox. Ever since this thing was built, I've wanted to come see it, and I just drove by and I had to stop and check it out. Pretty cool. This was built by Island Timber Frame, probably, I don't know, 10 plus years ago. You can see that they obviously knew their stuff. Some pretty cool engineering going on in here. So you can see that it's definitely got kind of a Japanese temple shrine kind of vibe with like the lower pitch roof, with the layering of the roofs, which is kind of what I want to embody with the cabin that I'm building. Obviously not this heavily built, but a bit of a, you can see that the designer had some green and green Japanese influence, like a lot of timber framers do, but has also made it his own with the kind of cool West Coast knee braces, and just, yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful structure. So I'm trying to get like a similar vibe with my house, obviously not as big and pronounced as this, but I want to have these large overhanging roof or eaves as possible without having to have, you know, supporting structures like posts and a beam around the perimeter of the house. I want to cantilever beams really far out, and even if I have to stack a few layers to get the projection. And I like how they did these little double layered purlins right there, one and then another beam and then another, to get that distance, right, and support the roof. So yeah, this is just a really inspirational design for what I'm trying to do here. I don't know if you can tell, but you can see there's a bit of an arc in this lower roof here, which I do not believe is intentional, but you can see that the beam, the purlin beam underneath there, because it's only supported by these two large knee braces coming out, that there's been some sagging in the corner, right? Just because it's such a long span, and it's only got support points right there, which are about at least 6 feet in from that corner. So definitely not like a structural flaw, I would say. It's still plenty strong, but got a little overzealous with that cantilever maybe. And just over the last, 10 or 15 years that it's been here, you can see that just the weight of the roof and everything is settled and sagged a little bit on those corners. Hey guys, I get a lot of questions about finishes and which finishes to use for woods, and I've tried them all over the years, and what I've settled on is Odie's oil. It's a universal finish. It can go on pretty much anything, and it has that beautiful natural hand rubbed look that I love on all my projects. So stop asking me about finishing, because the only finish I use is Odie's oil. If you want to get yourself a jar, just click the link in the description below. Well guys, it's finally happening. I got all my 1x10 siding and some 2x4 for the door and window trim. Now I get to load all this onto my big old skiff here. Skookum-chitcher. Let's do it. Well, I'm having a heck of a time out here trying to get a log from the end of my boom out this way to break the waves there. So I've got, this is the rope that comes up from the anchor, and then I tried to do like a fork off of it so I could tie this end and that end of the log, but that did not work because I've got counterweights. I don't know if you could see them, but they're 2 buckets of concrete on these little swivel hinges in there. But the rope just can't figure out where it wants to go, so I'm trying to get the knot over here down to this end, because then the anchor's kind of holding on the end of the log like it was. Because when I dropped the counterweights, it swiveled way over to that end, and then it pushed my log boom too far this way into the neighbor's water space. So I'm trying to get it back, and the only way I'm thinking about doing that is because I've got this one has got 2 buckets of concrete on it as well, which I'm trying to pull the rope over this way to get the log boom to move back. And so now I'm thinking I gotta cut off this line right here, but I don't want to lose those buckets of concrete. So I think I'm gonna jump in the water, use a rope here and put a little prusik knot around it. So that's like a brake knot that grabs the rope, and then I can cut the rope on the other side of the knot here, and then make sure it's tied to the boat, obviously, and then drag the 2 concrete anchors into shallower water where I could recover them, because they're really heavy to try and pull up by hand. You'd think you could do it, but it's about, I don't know, 250 pounds of concrete at least. They're heavy. So yeah, just getting an education out here, but at least it's sunny and the wind hasn't picked up yet. Well, I worked on the log boom all morning to try and get it in place before the wind picked up, but I didn't get my corner brace in, and you can see the log boom's usually right about here. Now it's blown right up against the skiff there. Starting to bang the skiff up a bit, and so I've got to move it over to the neighbor's dock until this windstorm dies down. And oh man, this log boom is kicking my butt. Tomorrow morning, first thing, I gotta try and get it all chained tighter together, stiffen it up a bit. Oh, this is just super stressful. But if I can move my skiff out of there and there's enough gap between the dock and the log boom doesn't move any further, then should be okay. Can't really tell in the video, but those are like, 2 and 3 foot rollers just coming in off the lake. It's just crazy high wind right now. And for my next trick, I'm gonna carry 20 pounds, actually more like 50 pounds of chain around my neck across a log boom to get back to my boat. If you don't see any more videos pop up, well, you can guess what happened. I did it. So I'm gonna link one of these links around here, because I found that this one was holding tight, right? And this is kind of the stiffener. Right, they're overlapping, but because I didn't have a chain there as well, this log and this chain, I took off some of the slack in it, pulled it a bit tighter. I had it kind of more loose, and then that log was kind of splaying out because it wasn't attached to this one. So the log boom just needs to get tightened up, and I got to do the same thing there, right? I got to pull that one in tight. So that's what these 2 lengths of chain are for, and then the log boom will be pretty stiff and straight, so the next time the wind picks up, probably in a couple hours, the boom won't bow out and have so much flex to it. And I'm hoping it'll stay a little bit more in place. Here's hoping. Hey guys, look, I did it. I've got a boom. So this is kind of bracing the corner like a knee brace. And this is gonna take the brunt of the waves that come right dead on. So that should keep it from scissoring, because I don't have any anchor at this end yet. But I've still got the anchor point there. Now I tried doing that like little fork thing yesterday, did not work. I had to cut the rope on one side of the knot just to get rid of the counterweights, because they were so heavy I could not pull them up. 2 buckets of concrete, holy crap, is that heavy. So I cut the rope with the counterweight coming up to this end, and I lost those counterweights, unfortunately. And then the counterweight and the anchor rope have now reconnected kind of to this end on the little pivot I've got down there. So, because yesterday when the wind picked up, the force of the water was pushing the log boom enough that it was actually moving the rope and the counterweights. And then that gave the log boom a bunch of play, because the rope kind of swung to this end, because it's kind of coming up on an angle this way. And so once it released a little bit of tension and got some length by stretching out one of the counterweights, then the whole log boom just got pushed in by the waves and the current. And I had to move my boats last night because the log boom was smashing up against them. So it was a bit of a predicament. So now we've stiffened the whole log boom here. That should stay straight now. We'll see. The wind is just starting to pick up right now as I finished here. That's why I wasn't filming that much. I was just in a high stress, kind of get this thing done mode. And here comes the wind, sure enough, right around lunchtime. So now we get to see if this little corner brace and everything's gonna hold. And we'll see how far the wind and the waves push it in towards my dock there. And I'm hoping that the waves coming through here will clear the dock and won't push it around too much. Well, all of that used to be down on that boat. So I'd say that was a good workout. It's about 71 by 10 and 10 2x4, 12 footers. Feeling it in my core. The wind's picked up a little bit and the log boom seems to be doing its job and not drifting over too much further. We'll see. I don't think it's going to pick up like it did yesterday because it's been overcast, but now we wait for a good windstorm to see if my multiply revised log boom will have what it takes. I have really got to get better with checklists. I went into town, I did a bunch of stuff, picked up more ice for my cooler because my cooler's out of ice, got some more groceries, filled up water jugs, filled up gas cans, got 40 bags of concrete, got the keys to my new rental, and loaded everything up, locked the truck, drove out here, and I realized I left the bag of groceries in the back seat with like $20 worth of bacon. But it's like, I've done the math, it's about $30 round trip in fuel to go to the to go to the ramp and back. It's $20 in bacon, $30 in fuel. No bacon tomorrow. That's a hard pill to swallow, you know? There's other treats in the bag too. I think I just gotta pay the fine. Go back and get my groceries. Oh, why didn't you look in the back seat, Jesse? You looked in the back of the truck. You checked everything over except for the back seat. been a long day. It's like 7 o'clock and I've been going since 8 this morning. Oh. The positive is I don't have to unload this off the boat because I'm using it to make anchors, right? So that's a win. Oh, bacon. Always check the back seat. Yeah, milk in here and baby arugula. Just too much good stuff to not come back for.